Hey guys, this is my 7,000th attempt at recording this intro. I can't believe how hard it is to talk to myself for 5 minutes. I can talk across the table with someone for an hour, no problem, but I can't do this. I was playing Wes's episode 15, in the car today with Olive on the way back from her infusion. And at one point she looked over at the display and she said, "Mom, is this still the intro?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "It's like way too long, Mom. Sorry." So I wrote a bunch of stuff down. Hopefully I can stick to it and just end this. Anyway, Monty's awesome. We talk about the hub in Bellingham in our chat. So the hub connection is great. If you're looking for a co-working space, I highly recommend it. I hung out there a lot in the summer. Thank you for making a punch card, probably specifically for me, Heather. They do monthly breakfasts, and my hairdresser Brienne, she is connected through them too, and I just highly recommend them. Check Heather out on Instagram. Her Instagram account is She Leads Me, and then her hub connection also has an Instagram account too. I'll link all of those in the description. Maudie's actually speaking at the breakfast next month, so that should be pretty awesome because Maudie is fantastic. Okay, I talk about my tattoos in this episode. This one tattoo in particular, it says joy on my wrist. I almost cry when I'm talking about it because it has something to do with my mom. I haven't told the story in a while. If you do need any work done, I highly recommend Anthony Martinez, episode 11. He's my favorite artist, but he also does tattoos as well. And we have a great time hanging out. I also made a playlist of, most of my tattoos are lyrics. So I made a playlist of songs that my tattoos are from. I have a lyric from that book Fight Club, words, a quote from that book Fight Club. Since I can't link that, I just put that Pixies song from the movie in there. Also, there's one song on the playlist that I don't have any of the lyrics tattooed on me, but I'm going to get them. They're really important to me. So that's in the description. All right, here are some upcoming shows in April. If you're listening after April, I just highly recommend going to these venues, like going to the Hub Facebook page or Lyman Tavern Facebook page and just checking out who's playing, because they're usually really good about updating those. Friday, April 21st, Zach's playing at the Lyman Tavern. Zach is episode 12 of my podcast, and he plays a really great song about a zombie apocalypse, and it's one of my favorites. He also talks about his union with Jack Mattingly. Speaking of Jack, he's playing at the liquor store in Concrete on Saturday, April 22nd from 3 to 6 p.m. Now, Saturday, April 22nd is Record Store Day, and there's actually a record store inside the liquor store. So that's why we're doing that. He's going to play his album Oceans of Trouble, and he'll sign some things and mingle with everyone. I think there's going to be alcohol for sale in the liquor store that day. Don't quote me. Friday, April 28th is the Blue Room in Bellingham. The Blue Room is where Lazy Acres, Stilvettas, and Jade House are playing. Tickets are only $12 pre-sale. That's pretty good. Doors are at 8 and music's at 9. And that's a pretty late show for me in Bellingham, but I am going to go because Wes said that Lazy Acres is amazing live. So the next day, there's a show at the Concrete Theater, Saturday, April 29th. I think I'm bartending for that one. And it features Barefeet and Pretty Much Nothing. Tickets are $10 at the door. And I think that it's a pretty early show. I think doors are at 6. So that's exciting. I like early shows. So all those shows are coming up. I told you where to get a tattoo, where you should go if you're looking for a co-working space. Not much else is happening. I'm recording this like hours after I recorded Wes's intro. So not really much has happened. It's finally stopped raining. Hooray. And I feel better about this intro. I don't sound like it's 5 a.m. and I haven't had any coffee yet, so that's good. Olive did make me take her to KFC, though. She was getting her infusion today, and I said, "All right, kid, where do you want to go for dinner?" our plans got canceled tonight, so we were a bit more free. And I said, she loves going to buffets. So we were looking for a buffet. Couldn't find one in Bellingham. There's one, but it's closed on Tuesdays. And a commercial for KFC had just come up. And so she said, can we go to KFC? And I thought, why not? Sure. I don't think I've been to KFC in like 20 years, maybe 10. Anyway, it was pretty mediocre. I mean, $20 for fast food kind of sucks, but whatever. All right. Infusion, KFC, the weather. These are the things that you want to hear about. Also, if you actually do have a question about any of my guests or the podcast or Canada, I was talking to someone recently and they did not know that July 1st was Canada Day. Maybe I'll do a 1-minute segment every episode on what Canada Day means. Anyway, if you actually do have questions, though, just send me a DM on the Skagit Storytellers Instagram page, and maybe I'll answer it on here if it's a good answer. So, anyway, all right, this was better than the last one. The next one's gonna be better too. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And have a great day. See ya.
Howdy, partner. Welcome to one of the most northern parts of the United States of America. Travel with me upriver as we talk to a bunch of ladies and fellers and they share their tales of wit and wisdom. That's right, it's time again for Skagit Storytellers with Liz Rankin.
I think I might joke, or I might put out like, hey guys, someone send me intros, and then I'll just play a different one every time.
Perfect.
Maybe people can vote.
And then you can put in the show notes who wrote and recorded the
there you
intro.
go. And no one's going to read the show notes. But I do like to talk about how we met. And so I'm trying to think. I think I met you first at the vision board party.
Well, that's where we met in person.
In January.
The first time.
Yeah. But I think we talked online.
Yep.
When was that?
Before January.
Right before that. Yeah. Sorry, I got to find my energy drink.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, thanks. Behind my computer. All right, so I'll introduce you in the intro, but your name is Mari.
Yes.
It's spelled M-A-R-I.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You spend your whole life, I'm sure, explaining that.
It's been an issue.
Yeah.
It's been an issue and a great conversation starter when I want to pursue that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just let it go.
Oh, sometimes I say Mari. I just pronounce my name incorrectly on purpose.
Yeah, because it's Mary. It's Mary, guys.
Yeah, whatever. Mary. Yep, I've answered to way worse, and so that's okay. You can call me whatever you want.
As long as you talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. Or don't. You know.
But, well, I was named after a queen. Ooh. Were you named after anyone famous in particular? If you want to move that down or something, I don't know. Just go with it. This is a professional environment.
Yeah. See, I don't know how to work these things. It's all good. I
know.
It's all good.
Who were you named after?
Well, it's a Basque name. So Basque is, it's a form of Spanish-esque. It's really actually not derived from Spanish. But
like a dialect?
The province is in Spain. Actually, there's 4 in Spain and 3 in France.
What?
The Basque country is right on the Bay of Biscay in between France and Spain. And that's where my mom's grandma immigrated from 100 years ago.
Wow.
I know. And so my mom named me Mari, which is Mary in English. And then my daughter, when we were over there in Spain for her soccer tournament, we visited the Basque Country and we visited this little town. It reminds me of Samish Island because it's like this cool community on the water. Everybody knows everybody. And the name of the town is Ea, E-A. So we named Ea when I was there. When I was like 19 and I visited the town, I was like, if I ever have a daughter, her name will be Ea. And then we were able to take her back to Ea.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're part Spanish, like you're
Basque.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Are you 100%?
A quarter. Quarter
okay.
Basque. Yeah.
And then what else?
And then like Heinz 57. I don't know. It's Irish.
So I had gone back there a second time, and that's where I met him.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So I actually got baptized in Korea too. So I always joke that I met CJ and JC in South Korea. Yeah, I met a girl from Iowa. Her name was Joy. We met at a bar, and she was in my little neighborhood, and I said, what are you doing tomorrow? She said, oh, I'm going to church. And I said, wow, you go to a Korean church? No, it's an English speaking church. It's a Korean that is the pastor. But I said, oh, maybe I'll come. And I met like these really cool Canadians and other Americans, and it was just this little group, and I had a really great time. And it was cool because I just asked really basic questions about Christianity, and they answered them without me feeling stupid. And one of them gave me Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, and I loved it. And I ended up getting baptized there.
That's awesome.
So one of my tattoos is joy on my wrist, and it reminds me of Joy, the woman that helped me, find the way. And then also when my mom passed away, my dad wrote in her eulogy, he wrote, there's a piece of Jenny in all of us. And he wrote something about my other two sisters. Then he wrote I'm going to cry.
Yeah, I know. I could tell. I love it.
He wrote in Elizabeth, her joy at the dawning of a new day and all it will bring. Sorry. I haven't told that story in a long time.
Thank you for
anyway,
sharing.
so my mom, like, she'd pick up the phone like 4 a.m. like, hello, just such a morning person. So that's where I get it from. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that.
So, but then also, like, because she passed away when I was 23 and she was 46, and I just think, I don't know when I'm going to go, guys. So, like, I have a daughter and I love her so much, and I want to pour into her every day, like every single day I want to tell her about life, because I don't know.
You encapsulate that, Liz. Like, you really do. And I wanted to, driving over here, I was thinking about this conversation and thinking about how lucky I am to be able to sit across the table from you.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Because you are a woman of action. And I think I heard maybe a little story and a glimpse of why you are. And you seem like someone who's like, oh, I'm gonna run an ultra, check. Oh, I'm gonna start a podcast, check. Oh, I'm gonna do trivia, check. Oh, I'm like, to me, you're the kind of person where if you want to do something, you just go out and do it. And that is so inspiring for all of us. And so I just really appreciate you being a model for action, right? Not just like words or talking or saying like, one day I want to write a book. You've written a book. One day I want to, you do the thing.
Yeah. And guess what? Like, you do it shitty.
Oh my God.
I mean,
I think you do it great.
Well, when I was talking to one of my guests yesterday, he said something about, oh, did you guys talk about that on the other podcast? I said, I can't remember. Like, didn't you listen to it? And he goes, to be honest, the audio was really hard to listen to. And I go, thank you. Like, my first few episodes were really shitty, and they're getting better slowly, and it's okay. Like, one of my favorite authors, Greg McGowan, he has a couple books, and he talks about efficiency and effectiveness, and he says, start with rubbish.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
just start with shit and then build from there, and it's okay. Yeah.
Your shitty first draft. It's like, you got to get one out there.
Yeah. And then Olive did a presentation at the Burlington Rotary, and her last slide said, she gave all these steps on how to write a book and how to publish it, and she said the most important thing, and I don't know if I told her that or if she did it, either way, I forgot about it, and she showed it, and I just almost started crying. She said, the most important thing is to finish. Wow. No matter what you do with these steps, you just have to finish it. And I was like, this 10-year-old knows this. That's like, amazing. She's going to change the world.
She is. She is. She's so following amazing. She's following in some awesome footsteps. And I would piggyback on that. What Olive's advice is, starting. You have to start as well. So many dreams are caught up in our brains. So many ideas are just like stuck in between our ears, and we don't ever take any action on it. Yeah. And so I think that's why I was so drawn to you. And that's why I love your vision board party that you did. Like, I loved that. And so I have my vision board here. I've never shown it to anyone. I'll take a picture, I guess. I'll maybe post it. But I didn't do it at the party. I was like, I can't think that quickly. And I took quite a long time to fill out that form. Yeah. Like, I think I even wrote you and I said, can you send me the form ahead of time so I can, like, fill it out? Because I just need processing time. Such great advice. I'll do that next time for sure. Like, any teachers in the crowd, do you guys need the homework ahead of time? And so, thankfully, like, I could just grab a bunch of magazines and the board and just go home and do it. And I don't know if you noticed, but it spells out LFG. Oh, let's fucking go. That's one of my running buddies. He always says that. And I was like, gotta do it. Yeah. Anyway, so the L stands for my running. The F is for my I want to move up the salary schedule for teaching, and then the last one is this podcast. And the running, I mean, my goal is to run my 200,
And obviously, like, I only have really one chance. It's my race is Memorial Day. The second one, I think I'll be done that soon. And the third one, I'll be done that soon. And there's actually 22 across it because I have to do 22 laps.
Okay.
Because it's a 9-ish mile loop. I have to get 22 credits to make 45. And I want to do 22 episodes because another podcast guy in town, his name is Will. His podcast is I think it's called Becoming Human. And he posted something that said, if you publish 3 podcasts, I don't want to say record, if you publish 3 podcasts, you're in the top 10% of podcasts. Yep. If you publish 21, you're in the top 1% because people just stop.
Yeah, it's hard work.
And so I was like, that's it. I'm going to do 22. So the 22 just kept coming up. God. So I just thought that was really cool. Also, my birthday is February 2nd.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Okay, 22 is a theme and you're slaying it. It's only April and you said you're going to be like done by June.
You might be number 22. I have so many I have to edit.
Let's just go with that.
Yeah, you're number 22. I can say whatever's true on here. Yeah. So but I was talking with a friend. It was either yesterday or this morning, and I said, one thing that I'm going to bring up with Maudie is that I love, like, the party was so awesome. I love it, but I think I even asked you, what do you do as a follow-up? Like, how do you meet with people and say, okay, guys, it's December. Who did their stuff?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
So the follow-up is joining the mastermind.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the vision board party, I've been doing it for years. This was my biggest one.
Like
there was
7 years?
Yeah. And there were 75 of us.
That was so fun.
Oh my God. I already booked Bertelsen for next year.
So many people. I was shocked.
It's awesome.
Like, how do you know Maudie?
Yeah. You know, I think our community is craving opportunities to get together with other inspired women and to really say, like, oh my gosh, you're going after that, I'm going after that, you're a runner, I'm a runner. We don't really have all these opportunities to talk about our big goals, our let's fucking go goals, you know. And so it was really rad to see that many women in a room. And so that's the hard part, though. It's 3 hours and it's a mix of socializing and dreaming and coaching, and it's just not enough time. Most people do not even get started on their vision board, spoiler alert, but they leave with all the tools, and then like you, they're able to finish it. And the follow-up is the coaching mastermind.
Got it. Okay.
Where the women come together and we choose one, because most people choose 10 goals to go after at a time, and the odds of you achieving any of them are 0. Literally, it's like if you go after 10, you're spread too thin and you're not going to reach any of them. And so we just choose one and we take 6 weeks. That's it. It's amazing what you can accomplish in a really short amount of time when you go all in. Yeah. And that's the follow-up. Yeah. That's the follow-up.
Because I know a couple women close who do that, and they love it for sure. Yeah.
It's
that's
really
awesome.
Fun. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I love it. Yeah. I think I'm going to make another one.
Do it.
Yeah. I'm going to make another one.
Let me know if you need magazines.
Maybe on the back.
Oh, that's a good call.
We'll see.
Yeah. Do like, first half, second half.
Because it's funny. There's a really good song called So No by the Suitcase Junket. And in the song he sings, you don't know in December who you'll be in July. Yeah. I almost started crying saying that because I did the vision board in January and I think, I recorded my first episode with Tessa in November. But I think I recorded a couple in December, and it's only April.
I know.
I have no idea what's going to happen by July.
And I think that's such a great point because we set these stupid, not really stupid, but 5-year goal. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Like, imagine 2019, you set a 5-year goal, and then COVID happened. Yeah. It's like we actually need to shorten the amount of time we're giving ourselves to accomplish what we want to accomplish because we don't know. We have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah. And that's why so many people don't go after things because they see the whole thing.
Totally.
And they're terrified.
It's so true.
Yeah. I have a friend that has this giant plan that he wants to do. And I said, you need to do that. The way you're talking about it, you're so passionate. Yeah, but I don't know how to. And he listed all these things. And I go, no, just write it. Write it. But then I don't know how I go, but I'm just picturing. So I bring up this book constantly, the War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. and he talks about the muse and how like the muse is like waiting there to help you. All you have to do is start it. Like the angels are behind you, just like banging on the glass. Like, we know what step 3 is, but we can't show you unless you do step 1.
Yep.
And it sounds so crazy to believe that. And like, there's no way, but like once you start and get the wheels turning, then it just happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I have a big, big goal that I just was downloaded. Like, I really feel like the universe gives us these ideas and these things to pursue on purpose and at the right time. And it's kind of a big deal.
Can you share your goals?
Yeah, I'd love to. So when I was last spring break, I went to Cancun.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't ever take your family to Cancun over spring break. So I've got like...
Is it like Girls Gone Wild?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're just like not involved in that with the 16-year-old and an 11.
Time and a place, just not for kids.
Just not with my family. And so I was actually even like looking at flights. I was going to leave my family. I was having more... I was like doing my morning practice, which I do every morning on the beach. And I looked down and there was like a condom.
Oh my God.
It was... This is what I'm talking about. I wanted to get out of there. And it was all inclusive, had no plant-based food. You know, it was just a disaster. So I couldn't wait to get home. And when I finally got home, I was dedicated to falling back in love with the valley. That was my goal. That was my theme. It was love where you live. And so I started going on hikes I'd never gone on, talking to people I've never talked to, experiencing restaurants and wineries and festivals. There's so much to offer here in the Skagit Valley and Whatcom Island as well. And people started catching on, and I could see people going out and doing their love where you live. And I was reminded of it this spring break, and I thought, what if we created a place for people to go that on a Sunday where they have an expansive amount of time, they don't know what to do, but they want to do something new and different here in the Valley. There's content. There's available hikes and restaurants. And so basically it's a love where you live, Skagit Island, Whatcom community. And we highlight businesses, maybe like mom and pop shops and places that you don't normally frequent to help the businesses. And then it gets us out into our community and not feeling just so stuck at home.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm super stoked about it. So
cool.
So I have a Instagram page and that's it. And I'm feeling that like that stuckness. So, you know, I think we all do. Even the goal getters, even the people like you, Liz, I'm sure at one point you're like, okay, where do I start? And I can imagine you probably just don't stay there for very long.
Maybe 2 minutes. No.
Yeah. And you're like, okay.
But I love how you're sharing this and you're like, I just have an Instagram page.
That's it.
That's all I have.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You're not waiting till you have everything laid out and what are your brand colors? And like, you know, you're just like, I have a page. And I feel like I'm supposed to do this.
I feel like I'm supposed to do this. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm super stoked. And yeah, I'm just taking little baby steps. And I, like you said, I'm going to trust that the next step will reveal itself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing with the vision board. That's the thing with having a vision and ideas is the vision isn't going to happen on its own, you know?
And you really have to reflect often to see like, oh, is this serving me any of that? Stop and reflect. Like what's something that like you've been like, okay, this isn't working.
Yep.
I poured so much into this, but at the time it served me, but now it doesn't.
Yeah. So my Living on Purpose podcast comes to mind. I have 100 episodes out, did it for a couple years, and
like your own personal one. Okay.
Yep. I think I started in 2018, and we just talk to inspired women just like this, or I share inspiring stories, basically to live life intentionally. That's it. Like super simple. I say simple. And I was with a girlfriend. We were, I don't know, Port Ludlow or somewhere cool. And we're driving home and we'd had some drinks the night before and we were exhausted. So we just kind of were done talking to each other and we put on a podcast and it was this mom and her daughter and they were laughing and they were having dialogue and it was joyful. And I had the download. The universe was like, okay, I think it's time that you pivot and invite someone where you can have this kind of camaraderie. And so I invited my best friend, Molly, to start a new podcast. Don't Take It From Us.
Yeah, and I love it.
and I stopped the Living on Purpose podcast and pivoted to Don't Take It From Us because it was feeling kind of lonely, right? Podcasting behind a mic by yourself is super lonely. And it wasn't feeling joyful at the time. Now, the coolest thing about it, Liz, is that I get to go back to it whenever I want. Like, it's still there.
Yeah.
It's just not for me right now.
Yeah. And I think I think I listened to a couple episodes. It's nice too when someone needs more information or needs inspiration about a certain thing and you're like, wait, episode 30, go there or whatever, you know? So it's like just like a bank of resources.
Yeah. I've actually done that. I was talking to someone about setting intention daily, like just having one little like touchstone word that you can come back to each day. And I had recorded a podcast on it. And so I just sent her the link and list of intentions, and it was super helpful.
Yeah. That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Olive and I did a podcast together.
Oh my God, it's so awesome.
So cool.
Yeah. And honestly, some people are just like, I've made it. I've quote unquote made it, right? I'm married. I've got kids. I have a house. I have a job. And I don't feel like I fucking made it.
Oh.
What is wrong?
Really?
If you look at my life from the outside, it's like check, check, check. But something's off. And then we get to have a dialogue about that. And then we get to create plans. And we get to discuss like what would it look like.
Figure out what's off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I never would have thought about that.
It's the best. I'm honored to be able to sit with women in that space and hold space for them and then just watch them create their plan and take action. It's rad.
I mean, you know you're doing the right thing when like you're doing like this is like your job and you're like, I am so lucky to be doing this. I can't believe that I get to do this. Yeah. Like if you don't feel that way about your job, like that's not the job for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally. I was just when we were interviewing Tom on our other podcast. Tom's my husband. And we were talking about this and how relationships with the two of us is when we were at our very, very worst is when he left flying because he hated not flying, right? His passion is flying. And it's like, if we don't love what we're doing for so many hours a week, how can we come home and be all like stoked to be with everybody else?
Yeah.
You know, it really does. They bleed into each other.
Yeah. That's why I like having so many different things I do. Like my friend this morning was like, you're so busy. I'm like, well, yes, but I feel like busy has like a negative connotation. Like I've been busy doing jobs I've hated and then volunteering at things I did not want to be doing, but I felt like I should. And this go around, like the things that I'm doing that I'm busy doing, I'm choosing everything.
Yes.
And if I don't want to do it, I don't say yes.
That makes me
and there's no guilt.
So happy. That makes me, like, get busy doing shit you love.
Yeah.
Get busy doing things that light yourself on fire, right?
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like busy. It's like I said, like busy has this weird connotation. Like it can go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I went to a birthday party on Sunday and I ran into a mom of a student I hadn't seen in forever and she go, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? And how do you know my brother? I was the host of the party. I didn't know you were related. So we were chatting. And I said, well, it's kind of a long story. I met him in Concrete because I was bartending at the theater. And I also work at the liquor store. And then I do this podcast. And he was one of my guests. And I went on and on, talked about Olive and her books. And she goes, oh, when did you quit teaching? I said, oh, no, I still teach.
Oh my God. Of course she thought that, right?
Yeah. I think I talked about running too. And when did you become a full-time whatever? Oh, no. Teaching's my full-time job.
Honestly, if anybody is listening and they don't think they have enough time and they just heard that, they're like, well, damn, I've got time.
But, just like Dave Ramsey always talks about, like the first month that you're trying to, save money, just list everything you're spending money on, right? Mm-hmm. Because when I used to lead the course too, and one time this couple said, oh my God, Liz, we spent $1,200 a month just on drive-through food.
Yeah.
They had no idea. Stopped it like that. But if you don't know where all that waste is coming from, how are you going to stop it? So I challenge people, like, list what you're doing with your minutes of your day. Like, what's that thing about, like, you get 86,000 seconds in a day. Yeah. What if you got $86,000? What would you do with it every day? Would you waste it or would you actually spend it? Like, and so you get all those seconds, like, just inventory them, like, see what you do. And, I love a good Netflix series, but I'm just saying sometimes that's what people put most of their, motivation behind. And
then it becomes this really, really, really feasible excuse, right? It's because you actually don't have time when you're prioritizing Netflix or whatever.
Yeah. And I think too, like sometimes people use kids as like a hindrance, like, oh, well, I can't because of my kids. Like,
you're triggering me right now.
Bring your kids along with the journey.
You're literally triggering me.
Sorry.
one of the best.
Is this therapy right now?
No, one of the
Just
best
kidding.
compliments I ever got was from a college friend who doesn't have kids. And I really think like when someone isn't in the situation, they can kind of look at other people's situation and compare. And so she was saying she really appreciates how me and Tom parent. And I was like, oh, what's up with that? And she said, your kids fit into your life. You do not fit into your kid's life. And I was like, I just got chills just saying it. It was the best compliment I had ever gotten because that's how we live. As like the kids fit into our life and we get to continue to do what we want because we are the adults. And guess what? Now I'm modeling this really cool example of like having a podcast, running a half marathon, you know, being busy doing shit I love in front of my kids so that when as they grow up, they get to start saying no thank you to the things that don't fill them up and making themselves in their joy, happiness, fulfillment a priority. That I've always said I hate running with people. I've always said that to keep me safe. Honestly, I do love a good podcast. I do love the solo time.
Yeah.
And I've always just said that. And so I thought, you know what? I'm craving more connection. I'm craving more community. And after I posted about the half, so many people in the valley were like, let me know when you're going to run. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to run with people, but let's try it. Let's try it. And so we did it on Friday. It was our first little like
That was fun.
brewery run where we meet up at the airport.
It was windy.
It was nasty.
It didn't rain, I don't think.
It didn't rain, but it was
surprisingly.
really windy and ran 3 miles. And it was hard for me, but it was so fun. I was telling Tom because we ended up having a beer up there afterwards and said, I couldn't talk because I was too winded, but it didn't matter. It was so cool to hear your guys' your stories and have company.
Yeah, she's awesome. I can't wait to have her on.
Totally.
She's great. So I guess, are we going to talk about when you're doing your full?
No, I literally have the universe has not downloaded that idea for me.
But that's what I said after my first. I said, I am never doing this again. This was horrible. And then 2 months later, my friend said, you should do an ultra. I said, what's that?
Oh my God.
He goes, you don't know what an ultra is? I said, no. He's like, it's anything over 30 miles. And I was like, that's dumb. And then it was planted the seed.
Yeah.
For months, I kept thinking about it. And then I signed up for the Chuck and Nut 50K 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago to the day. And I DNF'd at mile 20. But that's how I got introduced to the Mal Baker Ultra and the concrete community, and it completely changed my life. Dang. And I just finished it just 2 weeks ago.
So good.
Didn't even train.
Oh, you're insane.
I didn't train.
You're insane.
Which is so funny because for the first Chuck and Nut 50K when I tried to run it 5 years ago, I was actually very trained.
Ooh, how interesting.
Very trained, mentally not trained. It was my first ultra. I had knee pain at mile 15. I was like, my knee hurts. This is the end of my running career. I was crying. The sweeper's behind me. She gave me meds. I was like, wah. I got there and they go, you have 2 minutes. You haven't hit the cutoff. And I was like, I was just a basket case. Yeah. This time around, zero training physically, but I was so mentally trained because I've done a few, I've done 50 milers and I did a 100K and I know what mentally what I need to do to finish. So it was hilarious.
Like any mental capacity, strength tips for us, for our, people listening, for me, even to go beyond physical mental capacity, just to continue, just to finish.
Well, and you just need to keep doing hard things and just like David Goggins talks about the cookie jar and he talks about like doing a really hard thing and then you put that cookie in your cookie jar and then when you need it, you pull it out. Like our friend Tessa right now is in the Grand Canyon and man, those she's doing some hard stuff.
She is.
And all I keep thinking is like, Tessa, like these are your cookies. Like you're going to refer to this when you're lifting at the gym, like, oh, I did that hike in the Grand Canyon. It was 16 miles and it was 5 degrees and like I can lift this bar. So like when I was doing chin scraper, which is literally a mile straight up, and I was having panic attacks and it was really hard because that was the point where I quit last time. So it was my first time. It was like the Hobbit movie where like, he crosses the line. He goes, this is the furthest I've ever been from the Shire or whatever. That's how I felt. I ran to the corner and I cried and then I started. But I was thinking, no, like I didn't summit Mount Baker, but we got about 1,000 feet. The weather was too bad. We had to come back. But I thought, no, like, you've done Baker. You can do this. You've done 100K. You can do this. It's only a mile straight up. Like, you got this. So I just kept pulling up, like, you know, things I had done. So you just got to just start doing hard things. And just every time, like, do Oyster Dome. It's hard. Oyster Dome is really hard. Right. Do it from the road and just, like, put that in there. And then do one thing that's, like, a little bit harder and then put that in there. And yeah, you can kind of apply that to anything, really.
And that's what I was going to go with is we talk about that in the crew is like really reflecting on past challenges and obstacles that we've overcome. Mm-hmm. So like when you're going in to have a really tough conversation with someone, like can you summon something out of that cookie jar that you've done before? Mm-hmm. You've done the hard thing. And I love that, like, get into the habit of doing the hard thing so that you're mentally prepared for the next one. Mm-hmm. And then you can keep doing cool shit.
Yeah. And I think that failure holds so many people back. Every line.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if she's ever seen it, but that's the joke there. So, I started going there, and then when they shut down, I'm like, I got to find another space. So, do you know Emmy Cornwall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I said, Emmy, where else should I go? Yeah. She's like, oh, there's this place in Bellingham.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I started going there, and I went. I kept bugging them. I'm like, guys, have a summer package for teachers. Come on. And so they did like a 10 punch card. I go, is this for me? Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
I don't know if anyone else uses it except for me, but it was like perfect. Because I'm like, I can't commit to a monthly thing. You guys aren't open weekends. I can only go during the summer. Yep. Please have something. So they had a 10 punch card. I was all in. And then I started doing trivia at the hub. And so I would need that time to do my trivia questions and all my flyers and then work on my like digital art too for my TPT store. And then Olive wrote the pickle and I started doing that. And I loved everyone there.
That's
it was
awesome.
so fun. Like I never actually met a lot of people that were working there, but just hearing their conversations, I was like, yeah, go get her.
Co-working, there's something about it. It's magic.
Yeah.
It's magic. That's part of the crew. In our mastermind, we create space just to work together.
I totally see how but it's hard because it's in Bellingham. And like I said, like the program doesn't work for me. So I totally see the benefit of the crew.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, then they have these monthly breakfasts at the hub and I'm just like, I want to go, but I'm a teacher and I can't. So yeah, I'm so thankful for this one tomorrow.
It's going to be awesome.
And I don't think I've been in the new space yet.
Oh, I'll give you a tour. Oh my God. Yeah. You're going to be like, this is rad.
Love it. And then you were going on a hike with Heather.
Yes.
And I had seen Heather right after she hurt her foot.
I had lunch with Heather yesterday.
On her hike or something, like in the summer. She was hiking and then she hurt her foot. I was like, what? And oh my God, she's so great.
I'm going to call her out probably, but I think she's registered for a half.
No, she's not.
I think she is. I don't know. We'll have to ask tomorrow. Yeah, we'll get on her tomorrow.
I'm the worst friend because like, as you know, like when you say, oh, I finished a half, I'm like, I'm barely patting you on the back and I'm like, when's your full?
No.
I'm like the devil on your shoulder.
I'm still
like
patting myself.
You need to do more. Like, I'm not saying you're not great, but like also like, if I didn't think you could do a full, I would not say that. I'd be like, cool, that's probably as much as you could pop. But I know you and I know your brain and I'm just saying.
I'm shaking my head right now if you could see me. You actually should get video in here, actually.
I thought about it.
Oh, totally. Because then you can see my pit stains.
I was going to say, I feel bad the heater's cranked. I'm freezing though. Is this what... Okay, part 2 is going to be about menopause. Yes. If you know a doctor or something, we could bring a doctor
I know
on.
A great hormone coach.
Okay, all right. Yeah. And I'll wear that same color and we'll pit out together.
Totally. That's awesome.
Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
And I am so happy because I don't think I have to edit this.
Yes.
I think this might be the first one. I think I got the audio dialed down. Yeah. We swore a couple times, but it's totally fine. Yeah. And we didn't interrupt each other at all. And there wasn't interruptions with Olive coming in. And I'll just do my intro, my Mark Maron intro. And then we're set.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
So
Thank you so much, Maudie. I'll put all your links in the description.
Cool.
Even though no one's going to read it.
In the place where nobody goes.
But on Instagram, though, what's your name on Instagram for your, like, the life coach?
Is Maudie Wuellner. That's my first and last name.
Yeah. Mari.
Yep. Wuellner.
Okay. And you have one of the most kick-ass pictures.
Oh, hey.
I have to say.
Thanks.
I love it. Your sunglasses and your stance, and I love it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Inspirational.
Totally.
All right. Thanks, Maudie.
Thank you.